Honest J. Nowak. Oh yeah.
A pleasure to meet all at last, and welcome back to Honest J. Nowak. And I don't know if you could tell, but that last one was kind of a dud. Or just a bit of a hole in the wall that I forgot to patch up. But you know what? I guess the patching is coming right away, because nowadays I'm doing what I can to get as many subjects together. I may not be able to take every single request, so of course if you're able to put your suggestion down in the comment section below, or tweet me, or comment on any other platform that I typically use, then well, you might just find yourself in the phase of a possible group of shoutouts, if you will. Well anyways, this is number 582. Universal and MCA. Of course, those two were a pretty big joint operation. A joint operation that came together because Universal had become very successful in a line of different films that came on through the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and got even bigger as time went on. Because by the start of the 1990s was when Universal and MCA had opened a brand new amusement park of their famous Universal Studios Hollywood down in Orlando, Florida. Of course, there were quite a few times that I've gone down there throughout my childhood, and I will say for sure that each and every experience has certainly brought up a lot of new, well, entertainment purposes in any possible way. But above all that, Universal and MCA is just more than a big theme park corporation of any sorts. They were also responsible for handling a lot of legal troubles out there. Because at one point in time, they both had a huge issue going on with a Jaws-styled ride. A ride, of course, that involved riders getting onto a boat with a skipper in front, talking about the story of Jaws, and then eventually having a similar shark attack happen in a giant set. And those, of course, were what made Universal Parks so entertaining back in the day. But today, it's mainly all about 3D movies and the like, and a bunch of screens, and a bunch of 4D related elements. Some pretty lazy designs in a way. But it's a lot cheaper, and sometimes it's a bit more efficient in a way. So, I really gotta hand it to them for that. Having more cheaper and more efficient, and also some more manageable techniques of operation are certainly pretty good out there in contrast to how other things could possibly work. They could be a potential disaster, as in the case of some rides that happened back then. But in the Jaws ride, it was a really big story because it was one of the most expensive rides that Universal had made during that time in the 90s and 2000s. And there actually was a lawsuit that happened where Anthony Solomon, whom at the time was on the boat in summer 1990, had actually fell into the water by accident. But after getting brought back up on the boat, this guy had the courtesy to just put in a lawsuit over an accident that no one could possibly handle. Universal and MCA were absolutely baffled, yet angered by all of this. It got to the point where they started putting up lawsuits against some of their own developers and creators of some of the rides and attractions, and it just got really ugly as the 90s went on. But by the 2000s was when some theme park rides were starting to close off. As in the case in point where Confrontation, for example, which was a King Kong style amusement park attraction, and not to mention Jaws itself also closed down, but about 10 years after Confrontation did. There were a ton of theme park rides in Universal Studios Orlando that I remember riding on as a child, but unfortunately a lot of them are gone. There was a Ghostbusters one, King Kong, Jaws, and I even heard at the time in summer 2017, just after I got back here in Wisconsin after my latest trip to Orlando, that E.T. and Revenge of the Mummy would also be shutting down soon. So, and also because Jurassic Park was going to get a revamp as the Jurassic World series got bigger over time. So, of course, I don't know what to expect. Next time I actually go down to Orlando, which could be sometime this year in 2021, I don't really know what to expect. There's a lot of things that have happened in the past 4 years alone in my lifetime, but who knows? When I go down to Orlando, to Walt Disney World, Universal Studios, SeaWorld, and whatnot, anything is possible. But until any of that happens, there's really a lot of stuff here that I would want to talk about, and there's also plenty of issues out there in the world that are unfortunately still around. So, if you want to see more, go down to my channel though. Make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.